meant for the males only. It's simple. And when the government is forcing that no, women should also be allowed to enter. But the pandits and the pujaris and all of them they're saying, no, don't let the women enter. And there's a reason for this. There's a reason. Everything that's there in Shastra, there is a reason for it. That they were saying that this is a Shani temple. If women enter the Shani temple, you know what happens? The husbands get bad luck. So, and it's in the interest of the women that they're not allowed to enter. But then the government is like, no, we have to change with the times. We have to change with the times. But the point is that the current laws and the current everything that's going on in this world is not based on Shastra. It's not based on Dharma. It's based on Adharma. And because it's based on Adharma, what good can come out of it? What good comes out of not following Dharma? What good comes out of not following the acharyas? What good comes out of it? Only bad. Everything bad comes out of it. Vishayendriya Samyogam. That initially it may seem like nectar, but what happens? It turns out to be poison. But if we follow the acharyas, if we are regulated, if we follow everything that they say, initially it may seem hard, but later on it turns out to be nectar. It may seem like poison in the end and nectar poison in the beginning and nectar in the end for some people. And then for some other people, it may just be nectar the whole way through. Because that is Krishna consciousness. It's on the transcendental platform, Sattvam Vishuddham, Vasudeva Shabditam. That this Krishna consciousness is Sattvam Vishuddham. It is not goodness, it's transcendental goodness. Sattvam Vishuddham, Vasudeva Shabditam. This is the platform of pure goodness. And this knowledge gives us this, it helps us come to the pure platform of pure goodness. It helps us rise to that platform. So it's nectar all the way through. But if we don't follow, then we are completely doomed. We're completely doomed to go down this thing. And they say we should just go along with the mainstream. We should just go along the mainstream. But even in this, there is a logical fallacy. The logical fallacy is this, that only dead fish go down the mainstream. The fish that are alive go upstream. They go against the stream. So even in the terms of that, we are, Prabhupada said we're not drops of water, but we're the fish, swimming in the river or something. But only dead fish go downstream. Only dead fish go along with the current. The fish that are alive go up. So do we want to be the dead fish or the living fish? That is up to us. That is up to us. So we should understand these points. We should understand these points very carefully. Siddhanta Balyachitte Nakaro Allah Ya Haide Krishna Lage Chudita. That we should discuss the points laid out by Srila Prabhupada. We should not consider them too controversial to discuss, because by such discussions, our attraction to Krishna will increase. It will increase. Prabhupada is literally, the whole 90% of the purport is speaking about how the great devotees of the Lord are empowered to see into the future. They're empowered to see into the future. What is destroying this world the most? The puffed up, womanly concept of life. This is what's destroying the world the most. This demoniac feminism is destroying the world. So we follow the instructions of the Acharya. We follow Srila Prabhupada. And we keep it out. We keep it out. There's no need for it. And by doing this, pratyaksha-avagamam dharmyam susukam kartumapyayam. You can see this with your own eyes. Please. You may not have faith in Shabda. You may not even have faith in Anumana. But one thing you will have to have faith in is pratyaksha. You will see. Farms are impossible. This is impossible. That's impossible. It's nonsense. It's all possible. By the blessings of the Guru Parampara, it's all possible. Like our spiritual master was saying, when we met him, he was saying that one thing I do have faith in, that Srila Prabhupada is a very powerful Acharya, and if you do exactly what Prabhupada says, everything will happen. He told us this. And if we simply do what Prabhupada says, everything will happen. There's pratyaksha pramana of this. And there's going to be more and more and more and more. And if we simply take shelter of this, then everything else will be completely fine. That's why we should always keep Prabhupada's books in the center. Because whatever the books are speaking about, if you live by it, then it's perfect. That, by chanting the holy names, by living on the farms, by living the life that the Bhagavatam speaks about, the simple Vrindavan life that Prabhupada spoke about so many times, it will increase your preaching, actually. more people will come. More people will see. Millions will come to the farm. Millions of books should be distributed. These things are what our acharyas are telling. So we see this over here. Now generally the future appearance and the activities of the Lord or his incarnations are foretold in the scriptures. And thus, pseudo-incarnations are unable to cheat persons who are in knowledge of the events as they are described in the authoritative scriptures. You know that if we keep Prabhupada's books in the center, we won't have any kind of affection for Sai Baba, even if there's millions of people worshipping that ugly Muslim fakir. We will have no affection for this demon. We will have no sentiment for them. Matter of fact, we will go to the temple and distribute books there, because that's our only hope. We will not care for this, anyway, I'm so glad I'm forgetting that name. Anyway, this bogus Paramahamsa, whatever that guy is, he's like a big bogus guy. And like, you have to see his videos, like, those who follow him have to be like a special kind of dumb. Like a new species of stupid, like it's never existed before, but it's like a special Kali Yuga addition to the species of life, where it's like a unique product that's revealed during like the Christmas sale, so it's like unique species of stupidity revealed during the Kali Yuga, that this moron is worshipped. Oh, like, wow, amazing, he is God, he is God, and he's like fat, ugly, sounds like a donkey, and can't do anything practical in his life. The only good thing he's done in his life is he bought books from Krishna Keshav Prabhu. That's a fact. Yeah. That, yes sir, Krishna Keshav Prabhu, personally blessed him. Personally. Bless him. God, seriously, and like, these people, they actually, Krishna Keshav Prabhu, he gets like really into it when you like scratch the surface. So like, he was telling us that all these people, they read Prabhupada's books, and they kind of like, they say, yes, you see, even Bhagavad Gita says, Manmana bhava mad bhakto, madhyajimam namaskuru. All Krishna saying, always think of me. They say, see, even Bhagavad Gita says, always think of me. Think of me, the bogus Paramahamsa, think of me. So they all read Prabhupada's books. Even there's another really ugly child molesting wheelchair god. He also was saying, and if you want to learn how to worship me properly, go and see how the Hare Krishnas are worshipping. And then you will understand how to worship me. Read their books, you'll know how to worship me. Like, how dumb, how unfortunate, how stupid, how crazy can these people be? But you see, that's the thing, that even after reading Prabhupada's books, these people are so unfortunate that they still think, yeah, this guy, this ugly guy who's like, who is on the wheelchair is God. And like, every year he used to perform this pastime of producing a Shiva Linga. And it's like oh my God, it's so horrible. Where like, for like 2 hours, the whole time, he'll act like he's about to throw up, and like, foam would be coming out of his mouth. And then at the end of 2 hours, like, they would make all this music and the smoke and all this dry ice, whatever stuff. And then one of his followers would keep like a Shiva Linga on a cloth, and they would act like, they're like cleaning his mouth, and he would hold the Shiva Linga, and then, Shiva Linga, Hare Bol, like, they make like a big scene about it. Like, bro, are you so dumb? I can literally see it on the video that you have the Shiva Linga in the bar. What demon is this? But this is God. And no matter what you do, that's why, we have to give them the forceful mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Yeah. By chanting, by distributing books to them, because their only hope is next life. Otherwise, what's going to happen? What's going to happen is like Ramanujacharya and Vallabhacharya. I've heard both. But Vallabhacharya was one day walking on the bank with his disciples, and there, there was this really old snake. And the snake was so old that he couldn't move. So while he was alive and old and couldn't move, a whole army of ants was eating him up. So then the disciples asked Vallabhacharya, what did the snake do to receive such a horrible kind of destiny? And Vallabhacharya said that this snake was a bogus guru in his past life, and all these ants were his disciples. The guru had cheated them and they had followed him, and now they're seeking their revenge. Sad but true, heavy but real. What to do? This is the reality of the situation. Therefore, when we keep Prabhupada's books in the center, we will be protected from all this mumbo jumbo. We can and I've literally seen this with my own eyes. I've literally seen this with my own eyes that in LA, there's a temple which is run by ex-devotees of ISKCON. They were initiated devotees, and they wear like tilak and kantimala and all this, and they wear dhoti. They have like a beautiful Radha Shyam Sundar there, and they even have Gonatai. But then right next to them, they have Lakshmi, so they have Durga, Ganesh, and Shiva. And then to make it worse, they even have a small deity of Prabhupada that they do Guru Puja to. And then they do Kirtan, and they do prasadam, they start I remember being there, I was just shooting books, and then Hare Krishna Prabhuji and all that. They know how all the jargon and all the drama and all the stuff. So they were there, and they started like Shri Guru Charan. They were doing Guru Puja to Prabhupada at 7:30 in the morning, and they have Bhagavatam class also. And then they have they start off their kirtan by Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, and then after Hare Krishna, then they chant Om Jai Jagadish, and then they go into this whole Hindu trip and start glorifying all these demigods and all this. And I was thinking, you at one point of time had the chance of going back home, back to Godhead. Now, in the name of Prabhupada, you're preaching Mayavad and encouraging all this garbage. And if we don't stick to Prabhupada, do not be surprised if most of the temples now will become like that in the future. Most of them are becoming like that already. The demigods are entering the temples. Buddha is entering the temple. So many priests are entering the temple. Why? Because of relativism, of making sure Prabhupada's position relative. Because of making Prabhupada's books relative. Anyway, Prabhupada, our dear friend, from Vancouver was telling us that he had the nerve to ask one devotee who was a brahmachari from the age 27 to 37, and then he got married and he's 77 years old. He had the nerve to go and ask that devotee, Prabhu, why aren't you taking Vanaprastha? And then he said, why should I take this? It says in Prabhupada's books. And he said, many things are there in Prabhupada's books, but we don't follow them. Straight up to the face. No besharam, just no qualms. And then pseudo incarnations enter.